Hey girl, welcome to the Black Girl Voices podcast. I'm Shivaun,
And I'm Whitney.
and every week we get together to laugh, cry, shade, and share everything from pop culture to racism.
So grab your headphones and your oversized mug and come and join the conversation.
Welcome back, welcome back.
Hey y'all.
I love Whitney's hey y'all.
Hey y'all. How y'all doing?
It be like that.
The hey y'all is so full of like, if you've been paying attention, you know that hey
Everything.
y'all is pregnant AF. There's a lot in that hey y'all.
That it's like a hormonal 9-month, a 9-month pregnant, full of hormones, ready to pop.
Yeah.
No, that's what it feels.
That John is just packed to the gills.
At this
It's in
point,
there.
she's 42 weeks.
Listen, she got to go.
She got
to the hospital.
Woo, girl.
Lord. Hey, you all right?
Like, honestly, I feel like if you follow our social medias, you probably just understand.
We sound crazy unless you know these things in context.
It has been, I think for everybody, it has been a very crazy, like, I will say 2 months on social media. But with the added layer of stuff that we had over this past week, right? Like last week?
My God.
Yeah. Over this past week, it has been extra crazy.
Stupidly so.
People are psychotic.
Absolutely have lost the plot.
And it's not even just the Meemaws anymore.
No. Can we park here? Let's pull over and park right here.
Always.
I was ready to deal with all of the hate and the vitriol and the racism that comes from Trump supporters. Like, this is on brand. This is very on brand. I know people are gonna be like, I always have to do the you're not you don't have to be racist to support
My
Trump.
favorite.
And I'm like, but you've made racism like it's like a non-issue for you,
right?
When you do. So like, I'm expecting, Billy Bob and the dudes with like the shimmery shiny glasses and the worn out baseball cap and the big pickup truck. The shimmery shiny glasses.
Oh, like the NASCAR look, but
Yeah,
then
them
like
joints.
orange,
Them joints.
yellow,
Uh-huh.
Yes, okay.
And they take their profile pic with them glasses on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on, Billy. Let me see them beautiful blue eyes. Come on. Take them glasses off.
Look at colonizer eye.
I was expecting that. I was expecting a lot of that. I did not. And this was probably Whitney being foolish. I did not expect the vitriol to come from where it came from. Mm-hmm. And it was like people who were like, 10 minutes before, oh, listen to black women. And then black women were like, I'm speaking. And then they're like, oh, you're a baby killer. And I'm like, what?
Here's what I'm going to say without saying too much. Here's the problem. People forget that even within our own communities, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's still listening and learning that needs to happen, right? Mm-hmm. So here's what I'm going to say. Like when we say, you guys listen to black women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we have colorism within our community where we're telling light-skinned women, hey, we need to listen to dark-skinned women, right? Then because there's so many different shades of melanin, then you have white passing people who are also who also benefit from white supremacy culture, right? Because and we're telling them, hey, let's listen to non-white passing people. And the problem is everybody wants to be the teacher. Nobody wants to be the student.
My God today. Say it again.
And so nobody wants to check their privilege. See, we all have different levels of privilege, right? When we say privilege, I don't mean I have privilege walking around America, but there's certain privileges I have within my own community, right? Like I am not a dark-skinned woman. Mm-hmm. So there are privileges that I have within, I don't know, say like the beauty community. That might be something as simple as being able to find my own shade a
Talk about
foundation.
it.
Little that's just like a very small example, but I'm just saying there's levels of privilege, and don't check your own level of privilege and the ways that you're showing up, then you can harm your own community. Anti-Blackness is not isolated just to white people.
Nope, ain't.
And some of y'all are anti-Black.
Listen, child, you said it. White supremacy is not the shark, it's the water. Someone else said that. That's not my quote. Someone else said that. That's not my quote, but I've heard it floating around a lot, and I really want to get to the bottom of what genius said that, because I was like, yeah, whoever said that, flowers. Putting the flowers down, because girl. Or, you know what? Girl's gender neutral. Girl, you did that.
Right. I was going to say, girl is like around the world at this point. I love it.
You call everybody else bruh, and that's supposed to be gender neutral.
Bruh. Oh my God. I had to check my speaking of bruh, just
what happened?
Quick shift to mom. Had to check.
Hey, Mom.
My 14-year-old's in that stage now where like he quickly forgets, like we grew up, I ain't one of your little friends, right? So he quickly forgets I ain't one of your little friends, and so he'll hit me. I'll be saying something, bro, and I'm like, bro,
who
we talking about? Because my gentle parenting only goes so far, okay?
Oops.
I might not beat you, but I still will instill the fear of God in you, okay?
Do we need to pull this over and talk about this? Like, who you calling bruh? I'm your mother.
But I mean, he straightens up real quick. He's a good kid, so he'll do it, and then I can see the fear of God in his eyes. He'll be like, "Oh crap!" Like "Oh crap." So that's fun. I want to say also, again, just like completely shifting topics, but the beauty / heartbreak of motherhood. I have found myself in the last. I'm gonna go the last like month, just crying at the drop of the hat because my son is growing up. Like, just bawling. Like, he went to his first little high school party.
No.
And granted, it was very tame. It wasn't like the movies yet, right?
It wasn't a rager.
Right. He's still in ninth grade. So like, I still have limitations. But he was like, Mom, so-and-so's having a party. And I was like, okay, what's that got to do with me? Right? So he's like, I want to go. And so I had my husband take him, and I had my husband go meet the adult of the house. Because I don't really care if it's high school.
Oh, yeah.
I need to meet some adults in ninth grade. Okay? Maybe 12th grade, I'm not going to pull up, but I'm pulling up. So, he went out, he hung out, he came home at, to me, reasonable hour, 10:30. He's still, again, 14. And I just cried. Like,
oh, Mama.
I'm so glad he got home safe. He had a great time. He came in the room. He talked to me about it and all the fun they had. But it just I had a moment where I started thinking back to like when you used to play. I used to have to be, like play dates.
Right.
Like, you have to be there, and it's just another step. And then he had the nerve to remind me. He was like, Mom, like next year I can get my permit. And I was like, oh. And then, I had a real quick, how black mamas get an attitude for no reason. I had a real quick black mama moment. I was like, okay, anyway, be 14 right now.
Right.
So yeah, I just grieving that, and then grieving also. I think, like you said, the loss of mutuals is something we don't talk about. I think so many people, because we live in like this world where you have to pretend not to care.
Yeah.
Or like people like to pretend nothing bothers them.
Yeah.
It bothers me that I followed and respected so many people. And then I realized, they're just not for me. Because I'm not the kind of person who's going to discredit your whole work and everything you've done because I don't like something you say unless it's anti-Black. Or just terrible, overtly just awful, right? But it's sad.
It is.
There's grief there.
There is. And I don't think that I think you so brilliantly put that we don't talk about it because we're supposed to pretend that nothing bothers us and we don't have feelings in this culture. And I'm like, that's not true. Like, especially like people who we trauma bonded over in 2020.
I know.
We trauma bonded hard.
Yeah, we did, because we were all being used as pawns, right? Because everybody was like Venmoing us and PayPaling us and using our stuff everywhere and like, hey, how can I support you? And so I think we all trauma bonded over the fact that we knew, we peeped what it was, and we were like, hey, we got to stick together.
Yeah.
And then the togetherness kind of fell apart.
Well, it came down to what people were truly bonded over. So, like, for example, no, I'm not gonna name names.
No. No,
that's for the group chat. That's not even for Patreon. That's for the group chat.
That is all the way group chat.
But if you know, you know.
Strong, but no.
But if you know, you know. There is what I have started to see is that there are people who are blatantly out of community.
Yes.
And you can see it. You can see it in their content. You can see it in how they talk. You can see it in how they react to things. Like someone who I really, really respected, and I shared their book on my social media, and the hate that I got from sharing just the title of this person's book, I'm still dealing with to this day. This person recently posted, Kamala's going to lose, and I'm going to be so happy when she does. And I'm like,
just saw that post. I have mixed feelings. Not on the post, because the post is just here's my thing. I'm gonna be like, I'm not gonna go far into the election, because we've talked about the election for 1,000 episodes. I'm so tired, even though that's what's going on right now in our life. So if y'all are tired of hearing about it, that's just the season of life, right?
It's just the season of life, y'all.
Season of life. But
what we'll be back to talking about like ratchet shit in like 10 minutes.
What I will say about that is like, you in itself saying that you're not a supporter of Kamala is not wrong.
That's not wrong. That is not wrong.
Right.
That is not wrong.
You don't have to be a supporter. You don't have to agree. Especially, I want to make it clear too, because I saw something from someone who was Palestinian, and they said that they thought it was disrespectful for people to want to force them to vote for either candidate. Y'all, just the same way I tell you guys, don't tell Black people how to walk through their pain, is the same thing I'm going to say for Palestinians and Palestinian Americans. They don't have to vote for a damn
nothing
person, okay?
Nobody.
That is their trauma. They're walking through it the same way I tell you guys, stop telling Black people what issues should be and shouldn't be important to them, and how they should and shouldn't get to walk through this world, and how they should and shouldn't be concerned about how policies and about how the next sitting president is going to affect their safety and their well-being, right? So the critique of Kamala in itself is not the issue. It's you saying you can't wait.
Hello? There it is.
Till she loses, knowing what the alternative is, because I don't care about Jill Stein supporter. You guys, by now, you know. I even heard a Jill Stein supporter themselves say, oh, they have no chance of winning. It's just, whatever the strategy to get the funding or whatever. Okay. So you know what the alternative is. And you know what that meant for Black people 4 years prior.
You know.
You would still wish that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because once again, it shows where folks are standing. There is no way you could look at a person who like has trans relatives and gloat about a Trump presidency.
Oh, yeah.
There's no way. There's not when they can't get their medication. I just heard, and I was going to bring this up actually later in the story. There's a ProPublica article about a young woman named Jocelyn Barnica. And she's an immigrant who was living in Texas, who died because doctors couldn't they were afraid to intervene while she was miscarrying, and she died of a bacterial infection because they delayed care because they had to wait till the fetal heartbeat stopped.
Jesus.
And you can't look at her family and say and acknowledge that you want Trump to win, you want Kamala to lose or Harris to lose, when these people have just lost somebody with direct connection
right
to, like, y'all are deeply out of community when you say things like that. Y'all are so, I'm about to say something very crass, and I don't say crass things.
I have something very, very crass to say as well.
I'm about to say something really crass, and I want to apologize because y'all know I don't talk like this. Y'all have your own ego shoved so far down your throat, you are literally shitting your moral indignation here.
This out, yeah.
And it's disgusting to the rest of us because we don't give your moral superiority is not going to stop another bomb. It ain't.
Somebody broke it down perfectly. They used to be a third-party supporter. They actually used to volunteer for Jill Stein's Jill Stein's campaign, and said, "Here's why I'm no longer voting for Jill Stein." And I'm going to send you the video because it was amazing.
Wow.
But she said, "What is Jill Stein has said she's going to support an arms embargo. Great, amazing, we love it. How?
She could say anything she wants, though.
How though? How? Because at the end of the day, you need the support of Congress and all of the people in position. So how?
Yeah.
I can say anything. I can get in.
She can say anything. That's the thing.
I'm going to give free meals to every single person across the world. Matter of fact, I'm going to give free housing to every person across the world, and I can get elected. So how am I going to do that? Just because I have those morals and I have those beliefs does not mean that I have a plan to get there.
Right.
But my kind of like what you were saying, this is why some of y'all are going to hate this.
Say it. Say it, Shivaun.
This is why BIPOC and Black aren't synonymous.
Okay, preach it.
This is why.
Preach.
Because there's a lot of anti-Blackness, whether it be conscious or subconscious, riddled within people of color.
All woven, all up and through.
Mm.
You gonna let that sit there for the people? You gonna let that stew?
Yeah, because I was like, I just want to be really careful, right? Because I don't want to turn into the thing right now that I am despising, right? I don't want to work out of community. I don't want to send vitriol and hate to anybody. I don't want...
That's not what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. Hear me.
But people are so unhinged, and I know that comprehension levels are so low.
Well,
bring back the schools.
Also bring back listening to each other. Like, y'all alleged that we were doing all this listening and learning. Come to find out y'all weren't doing either. Like, but that's not what you're doing, Shivaun. What you're doing is calling into accountability and saying, hey, all of these movements have been really anti-Black, despite the fact that Black people are usually the first people to step up and step in and help. Like, I'm still reeling. I know we've talked about it episode after episode after episode. I am still reeling at the fact that you knuckle draggers were trying to be rude or trying to say anything against the Angela Davis. I'm still that said everything. I'm like, you mean she advocated for like almost like 6 decades for Palestine? Angela Davis still advocating Angela Davis.
But she's in the wrong. And
she's in the wrong. You read 3 books, but she's in the wrong.
Right. And I'm not saying that our ancestors are
elders,
are people we look up to in the activist space can't be wrong.
Oh no, that's not what we're saying. That's not what we're saying.
Y'all are wrong in this. Like,
y'all are real wrong in this one. This is y'all are.
What else I have noticed again? Look, I'm gonna just say it. A thing.
Say it, Shivaun.
The problem isn't that they've stopped listening and learning. The problem is y'all were listening and learning with the intent to profit. We've listened and learned just enough.
Selah.
We've listened and learned just enough that we've built our platforms now. We've listened and learned just enough where we've got our book deals. We've listened and learned just enough that we have created a cult-like fan base. We've listened and learned just enough that now I can do whatever the fuck I want.
I don't need you.
I'm still listening and learning. My thing
Hello?
is, who are y'all's teachers? Y'all don't have any teachers. Where are the teachers?
Because they don't have any community, and
y'all don't have any teachers.
That's the point.
It's just like even the greats got greats.
Hello, it's this. But let's think about like who we deem great. Like who we deem great.
That's true.
And it's different from who they deem great. You know, it's one thing to have like the cute Instagram post that people are sharing. It's a whole different thing to actually do this work.
Right.
And this work is messy and, you know, it's imperfect. And because you're dealing with groups of people, you're dealing with groups of individuals, imperfect people trying to do a perfect thing, which is be unified together. And you could tell people are out of community because there's no more call-ins.
Mm-hmm.
We just flipping the fuck out online. Mm-hmm. We just not even call outs.
That's the young say crashing out. Y'all just crashing out.
Just losing it.
Crashing out.
Losing it. People who you literally talked to the week before.
Oh yeah. Are throwing subliminals at you on. They talked to you on Monday and not even subliminals.
Sometimes,
and then calling you out on Wednesday.
Sometimes they make whole entire posts about you, and you're like, "What the hell? Where'd this even come from?"
and you know what's funny? You won't even know until somebody sends you a.
Someone else sends it to you.
You're supposed to be like, "Girl, did you see this?" And you're like, "Hold on, what?"
Oh.
I was like, "Well, your kids."
Listen, I was at my kid's soccer game, and I was like, "What the?" Excuse me for a second. I know, child. Look at me.
My husband, like doing normal shit that I want y'all to start doing.
Getting dinner ready, taking a walk. Like it's so weird, and it's just like some people are just y'all are really like gagging just on your own moral superiority that you can't even hear. I'm sorry, that was crass. I'm sorry. But that's what they're doing.
I love it. You know me, I love something. Listen, keep it explicit, okay? Keep it explicit.
But like, it's so frustrating to watch because it's like we were cool, and I'm advocating for you, and I'm defending you because this is what community does. And if we have a beef, I made the assumption, and this is my fault because when you make assumptions, you make an ass out of you and me. Is what the people say. I made the assumption that since we're in community, if we have an issue, you can come and talk to me in my DMs. And
but not only the point is there point even community anymore? Because here's what I've seen from multiple accounts now, after this election, I don't want to hear from any of y'all. Y'all keep yourselves over there. Oh, okay, so we're not working together for the greater good because
cool.
Okay, we both had a common goal. We have different ideas about how to get there, but at the end, we still wanted to get there. No? Oh, okay. Because last time I checked, the Montgomery boycott couldn't have happened with two people.
Think about who was in the Montgomery boycott, though, Shivaun.
And I'm pretty sure there were multiple people with different ideas on how to get there. But at the end, they worked together collectively because they said, hey, this has to happen.
Shivaun, you're asking for, and this is not wrong of you. I just want to put this in perspective. You're asking for Montgomery bus boycott dedication from pink pussy hat wearers.
Here's the thing.
I just want to be real about that.
Here's the thing. Some of them aren't even pink pussy hat wearers anymore. Some of them look like us.
I'm just saying.
If we're calling a thing, some of us have joined the pink pussy hat brigade.
And I mean, if we're calling a thing, you know what that is, though. That's internalized anti-blackness.
And you know, like, yeah.
Call the things the things.
Call the things the things.
Let's just say it. The Montgomery bus boycott worked because those people were just interdependent on each other. They were like, I personally am not going to make it without you.
Yeah.
You're not going to make it without me. So let's do this together. Like, think about all of the organization it took to just get those rides so people can go to work for over a year. In fact, it was over a year. But these people,
wild.
Yeah.
That it took that dedication. It wasn't just an election year.
No. Hello. Say it again.
Truth be told, and I just made this post, so I'm sure I'll either guys or whatever. But I literally just made a post or a reel and just posted it, and it says, I want you guys to take a good look around. I want you to look at the people and the pages and the accounts that are all riled up, that are calling people out, that are down for the cause. And then I want you to check back in 6 months later after the virality of the election has worn off. Are they still just as loud, or are they still just as activated and motivated to get to the common goal?
Right. They're not.
No, they're like Joe Stein. They pop up. Okay.
Every 4 years.
Let me stop. You know what? Okay. Fuck the. Well, actually, I do have one more election thing. Y'all, I want better for you guys. Have you seen the canceling out your husband's vote TikTok?
Oh, I almost called you a name. Yes. Yes, I did.
Have you seen?
Have you? Remember, Shivaun, we're still growing our friendship. I don't want to ever be disrespectful with you. Okay, just making sure.
We're there, okay?
Listen.
What do you mean? And then my thing is, it's not like they're going in secret. You're frolicking with your husband arm in arm, and they're making cute little TikToks, and they're like, going to cancel out my husband's vote. Bitch, what? Are you?
Why is he your husband?
Twice. Blink twice.
Why is he your husband if you're canceling out his vote? Like, that man is literally, he's voting against your humanity and your autonomy because he don't want you to have that. So
it brought me to this. Some of y'all same ones that are so loud on the internet.
Ooh, say it,
right?
Shivaun.
Especially right now that y'all are going into on every page and shaming every person. Some of y'all big creators and activists too, going on every page and you're shaming people and you're making these subliminal posts and you're fuck Kamala and all of these things. Roll over every night to the biggest bigot there that we could possibly dream of. So how come your activism doesn't extend within your home? Why are you trying to liberate us, but you fucking massa? I'm just wondering.
The words that just jumped in my mouth. I had to stop.
How are you liberating us, but fucking massa? Come on, Samuel Jackson.
Listen, say it.
Somebody let me know.
Also,
I'm lost.
Can I tag team on that? Back to these folks who are deeply unserious and out of community. I noticed a lot of y'all have systems and structures in play where you will be okay in another Trump presidency. You'll be all right. You'll be fine. But there's so many people who simply will not, and they're trying to communicate that to you and saying, hey, my life is at risk. My children are at risk. My elders are at risk. My friends are at risk. My community is at risk. And y'all are sitting there calling them baby killers as if, we all aren't complicit in this. Like, if you pay taxes on a pack of gum, guess what? Guess what? I hate to break it to you. You and your experiment.
I just said, matter of fact, just yesterday, in regards to voting, if you are so privileged that policies, elections, whoever's president has never affected you, if you were never looked at as 3/5 of a fucking person,
my.
If you've always had the right to vote, you don't get an opinion on how marginalized communities should vote. Here's my thing, okay? I am I don't know. Listen, I don't have the right terminology. It just escaped me. Anyway, I'm not a trans person. Okay. Therefore, I would never roll up into a trans person's space, whatever, and tell them how they should vote for their lives, for their safety, for their well-being. I am privileged enough to have resources and safety and the things I need, a roof over my head. I would never roll up into a displaced person's space and tell them how they should be voting for their well-being and their safety. I am not a single mother anymore. I would never be rolling up into their space to tell them how to vote for for resources that will aid for them and their children and their safety. Y'all are out of line. Y'all are there's intersections. That's the thing y'all don't understand either. There's intersections, and y'all think that you get to just exist in all of them.
Nope.
When you don't you don't identify in any of them, but you get to somehow dictate how all of them show up.
It's like nuance, intersectionality, and all of those elements just went out the window because y'all found an issue where you get to try to talk over marginalized communities here. You can't bitch and bemoan Black folks here to try to advocate for brown folks over the seas. You can't do that. Like, you can, but it says something about your advocacy. Like, you're clutching your purse when you walk by me, but you want to throw on a keffiyeh to go defend folks in Palestine. Like, that don't make no sense. You can't advocate.
You got a keffiyeh on to support people in Palestine, but your husband will chase me down the street in a road rage to call me a stupid porch monkey because he sees a sticker on my car.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, like, if we're all going to be hypocritical, there's going to be places where all of us will have to deal with our own hypocrisy. And I say all of that to say this: I'm not looking another marginalized person in the face and telling them how and who and what to do. I'm not doing that. But I will make sure that I advocate for the one viable person who is in place to make sure that they can still survive, that their families don't have to be separated, that their medications don't have to be taken from them, that they can read the books that they want to, that they can learn the history that they want to, that they can protest if they want to, that they have a voice if they want to. I'm doing that not just for me, even though yes for me, not just for my community, although yes for my community.
Why is it so shameful to advocate for ourselves? Here's the that's
talk about it.
Another thing too. I've noticed, and I think we I don't know if we talked about this last or whatever. I think we did briefly because we shared Dr. Brittany Cooper's post. Why is it so shameful for Black people to advocate for themselves? We will advocate for the entire world. We'll save the entire world. And then after everybody's saved, after everybody's safe, after everybody's forgotten what we've done for them, now we have to start back at ground zero to dig ourselves out of the ditch. When do we get to put ourselves first? Y'all live in this trickle down effect society.
You know what it is. It is.
No, we have to save these people first, and then we'll tend to these people. It's just like with Palestine. Y'all are like, we got to save these people first, and then once they get free, we can look at Congo,
which is obscene. That actually happened in my comment section.
I'm learning more too. Like, truthfully, I'm always going to be truthful with y'all. Truthfully, I'm just finding out how deep and how terrible and disgusting the conflict / genocide, okay, because I don't want to reduce it just to conflict. The genocide is in Congo and Sudan.
Sudan, yeah.
Yes, it was never anything that I was taught about, but I'm learning about it.
Yes.
And the same way as we learned more about Palestine, because yes, this has been happening for 75 years, but all of us weren't. Hence why the internet is just now in a frenzy, because y'all are like, this has been happening for 75 years. Well, y'all haven't been talking about it for 75 years.
You know who has, though? Black people.
Yes. And it might not
be. You know who has?
But our ancestors
and our elders
have been talking about it. It's in books.
It's in books that they wrote decades before you started breathing, baby.
Yes, but y'all will say,
Black people,
if we deal with this right now, then we can tend to that. How
is
that any different than Black people saying, hey, well, I need to protect my safety and make sure that I'm safe so I can advocate for everyone. How is that any different from what you guys are doing?
It's frustrating. And this is proof that entire situation is out of community, because you want us to put our lives on the risk and be put our lives at risk and be the sacrificial lamb, when you as a movement should have been thinking of structures and procedures and things to keep us safe. The fact is, Black people are telling you, I don't feel safe. I need to do this so I can feel safe. And that should be
literally laughing in their face.
Or calling us baby killers. And then that's an indictment against anyone who was talking about this situation. Because it's like, what structures have you put into play to take care of the most vulnerable? You haven't. You know why? Because you want to use it feels a little insidious to say this, but I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Some of y'all are using this as a chance to just be anti-Black. And like, I keep seeing it, and it was cemented with the Angela Davis thing. It was cemented.
Oh yeah.
Because like I had it going on my head. I'm like, no, it can't be this, it can't be that. And then I started seeing some evidence. I'm like, no. See, look, there goes that benefit of the doubt thing again. Keep giving people benefit of the doubt.
More pessimistic, like your girl over here. I was just like, everybody's out to get me. I hate everybody. Ball humbug. Let me stop.
I can't do it. Like
beauty though, right? Like let me give you your flowers for a second. That is the beauty, and that is why, like, for instance, I'm gonna check myself. There are multiple times when I have to like check myself to make sure I'm in community, because I'll get so sometimes rage is a great thing to use as fuel, but it's not a great place to stay. Okay. I will get so enraged where I'm like, fuck everybody. Okay. So I have to constantly check in myself. And you'll see it within my feed. You'll see me constantly checking myself like, hey, y'all, like, y'all are getting on my fucking nerves. Do you think I want to work with the person who called me a genocidal monster? No, but I know that we have a common goal, right? So I will constantly be checking in like, guys, we gotta work as community, right? But you have this beautiful outlook on people that you're willing to look past their red flags, because you see not only the good in them, but you see the need for community. And so sometimes when people are acting out like a toddler, you'll say, you know, that toddler's just hurt. That toddler needs a hug. That toddler needs love.
It's me.
Where I'm like, beat his ass and put him in damn time. You're gentle parenting, right?
I'm gentle parenting the advocates.
And I'm be honest, you're gentle parenting, and there's some of us who are still gentle parenting, and there's some of y'all who are abusing your children. Ooh. Y'all have continued. Here's the thing, right? You know who's abusive? The oppressor. The oppressor abuses his children. Okay? The oppressor will literally make Black babies and then use them, abuse them. And some of y'all have continued the cycle, where some of us are trying to break that cycle, right? So where you are in this land of like love, and I'm going to love you through this season. I'm going to love us to our goal. I'm in the season where I'm like struggling, right? But I'm checking in with myself. Some people are just like, nah, fuck this. My parents beat the shit out of me, so I'm going to beat the shit out of y'all. And it's a very sad place to be in, but I want to challenge you, even though you've been burned, to take that burn and heal it and continue moving the exact same way you're moving.
I think that, thank you, first of all. I never thought of it that way. I always felt so stupid for this. And I think that, I don't know, Shivaun, it's just like, I keep hearing people lose it online, and I want to be mad, and I want to say the hard things, and I want to get like super, I want that. There's a deep welling rage within me. But that rage is never for a person. And it always feels like it's for systems and structures. And so I'm looking at some of like my former mutuals, people who I like have shared very intimate conversations with, people who I care about, people who I like go to bat for, watching them treat me the way that they are treating me now. And I just, in my heart, I'm like, oh my God, you're so hurt. And it's like, I'm frustrated and I'm angry because you're directing all this hatred towards me. And I know that in a click of a button, it could be gone. And I've clicked those buttons, so it's gone. But so is our connectivity. And I'm like, instead of just talking to each other, which it's simple and it doesn't get as much clicks. It's not going to get any clicks, in fact, because it'll be just you and me. Instead of doing that thing it wouldn't go viral, but it would ensure our community. It would ensure our continuing to work together. You wanted to be a rock star online and drag my name through the mud, which didn't work at all. Doesn't work. And I could tell because like other mutuals would step in and be like, no, that's not her at all. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you sound crazy. Which, you know, I thank God, because that's a testament to the work, and the labor. But also, it's just like, it's so frustrating to see these people who we've shared community with, who we thought we had these same goals to get us free, and then you turn around and you realize like you never have experienced community, because ain't no way someone who has experienced the warmth, the safety, the validation, those things of a bunch of people together with a common goal. And I'm not trying to make it sound like this utopia, because it's not. There is conflict in community. Yes. There are debates, there are struggles, there are shiftings and changings and things like that. But at the end of the day, at the very root of the tree, there is an understanding that I'm not here to hurt you and you are not here to hurt me. And as long as we understand that, we can talk about the things that stand between us, but we're going to fight these things that stand between us so that nothing stands between us. We are here in this together. And I don't care if you and I have to labor in this mud to figure this out. I'm willing to do the work if you are, because I don't want this thing to stand between us. And even if we get to the point where we agree to disagree, we're still good. And I don't think that a lot of people who have reacted the way they've reacted, and I call it a reaction, not a response, because reactions happen they're just reactions. Like, there's no thought behind them. Where response is thoughtful, and it takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes responsibility and accountability to respond, which is why I have not responded yet. Because anything I do right now and my hurt feelings would be a reaction.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what I'm going to say, though, about the beauty of why you're able to see people's heart despite their reactions? And this is something that, like, I will say, there's a lot of things that I'm still working on when it comes to understanding God and understanding, like, the gifts and my purpose and things like that. But the one thing that he gave me is the gift of discernment, right? And the gift to be able to see people for who they are, because even, and that's good or bad, right? Because I can see somebody and I can feel with them and I can vibe with them right away. But I can also see people and I can say, I don't know what it is,
but this ain't this.
And I never realized it was their spirit, right? That I was feeling like, their spirit's nasty. But the reason that you see people's hearts first, despite their reaction, is because when you are aligned with community, when you are aligned with your purpose, when you are aligned with God and the purpose that God has for you and the walk that God has for you, it does not matter what people's reaction is. It does not matter what people throw your way. It does not matter the trash that is surrounding that person. Okay? Nobody can cloud God's vision.
My.
Nobody can cloud God's purpose. Nobody can stop you from walking in the path that God has ordained for you to walk in. So it does not matter as you're walking that path, okay? It doesn't matter if Super Mario is throwing spitballs at you. You will jump over them every time and you will react in the way that God has designed for you to act because you are walking in your purpose. You're not walking in somebody else's purpose. You're not walking with the desire for virality. You're not walking in the desire for clout. You're not walking for likes and share follows. Okay? Mm-mm. You're walking for whatever God's purpose is, right? And so I think you just have to remember that, because what I always say, what I always check in with myself, right? If people hated and beat up on and dragged the most pure person in this entire world, then who are we to think that it's not coming to us?
Who are we?
And that's not to compare ourselves to Jesus, y'all, because
no. That's not what we're doing.
I'm just saying
That's not what we're doing it all.
Tribulation is gonna come, especially when you're walking in purpose. And so just remember that and just hold tight
thank
to
you.
that.
Thank you.
And I love you.
I'm
always here to pour into you because, our cups do be running empty. It does.
Child.
Our cups be running empty.
I think it was the being ill prepared. It's the intentional misunderstanding.
It's also jealousy.
Close the laptop. Goodbye.
I wanted to bring this up.
Wait, no, friend.
No, I did. I wanted to bring this up. It's jealousy. I'm not going to say too much. But Whitney has been doing her thing lately, okay? Whitney has been everywhere. She done been with Carrie. Y'all know how much I love Carrie Washington. Okay.
Oh my God. I didn't know you loved her. I would have had her say something to you.
Love her. She, one day I watched her movie American Son and I wrote like this beautiful thing on Instagram about it. And she messaged me back. And it wasn't just like a little, generic, like, oh, yeah. It was this message about please take care of yourself.
Oh.
Please take care of yourself. And it just, something as small as take care, really. Like, I loved her ever since. And she's one of those people who stay activated, right? She don't come around election time. I see her all the time. I'll be like, all right, Olivia Pope, damn.
Listen, she on the move. Hey, shit. She on the move. Yeah. Okay.
And so, but I say all that to say this. God is putting Whitney in places. And I don't even know if she knows why he's putting her in these places. But he's putting her in these places. And I know she doesn't know why yet because Whitney like to be in her bed. Okay? Yeah. Anyway, God is putting Whitney in these places and he's providing for her family too. And this is what I wanted to say to you because y'all will look at people who come online, never say anything, right? They do their clothing hauls, they do their like to know it's their Amazon links and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Provide for your family. But they never say a word. They never advocate for anybody other than themselves. And y'all don't say a word to them. But when people start to profit off of causes they truly believe in, actually believe in, okay? This isn't like I'm just doing it for whoever. Actually believe in, y'all have something to say. And I'm confused why it's a problem for people to provide for their family while doing the work that they love to do for causes they truly believe in. And I think people look at that and they're like, well, why aren't I getting these opportunities? Why? Because you're bitter. It's because you're bitter and you're out of line and God knows it. And so when you're happy for other people, when you're watching other people soar and you're clapping for them and you're like, yeah, and you're okay with being in the crowd, God would finally pull you on stage and say, okay, it's your turn. Here's some blessings. Some of y'all hate to be in the crowd. Y'all are the assassins in the crowd. Okay, and so God's not going to bless you. Just saying. I've been preaching for the last.
I wasn't going to say jealousy.
They are.
You know what it is? I never think that people are jealous of me.
Not everybody. I'm not.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Everybody's jealous, but some of y'all.
No. Yeah, no. Honestly, I read some of those comments, and you and I could talk offline about this. But like, the jealousy is in there. I was like, it's giving. It's giving. You wish you had this, but nobody wants to listen to you rant and rave from your tragic mulatto stage. But anyway,
moment of silence. Moment of fucking silence.
Anywho,
I'll say some of the people y'all follow are fucking miserable.
Oh, they're deeply unhappy.
I'm gonna be very careful, but some of the people y'all follow are miserable. Like, you complain about waking up. I woke up this morning, I got a headache, I hate everybody.
How dare God wake me up?
Damn.
Are you okay?
Damn.
Put the phone down. Go outside.
Touch grass.
Walk around. Play with your kids. Like,
take your meds.
Take your meds. Take a poop.
And this is not me shaming any mental health. Listen, okay?
No, we're encouraging you.
Okay? Yeah. Some of y'all need to take your fucking
the medication, please. I beggeth thou. Taketh thy medication. In Jesus' name. I'm just saying, no, like, it's just, it's so this is why I said I can't respond because I haven't processed. It hasn't been, honestly, it hasn't been a few days. It's only been a few days. So, you gotta give this stuff some time and really think about it.
You, like, block those people out of your lives, how all of that just stopped.
It's been silent.
Yeah.
And the fact is, it was like every day since she announced her candidacy, it's been every single day I didn't even block that many people. Like, I can go back and tell you, maybe 5.
Yeah.
Maybe 5
I don't
people.
ever block people. Like,
I don't like to block.
Opinion, I let people talk. It's when you're anti-Black or disrespectful.
That part.
Because you're not gonna call me anything in my own space. That's not happening.
Absolutely not. No, because we can disagree.
I'm gonna.
Please, we can disagree. Like, there's nothing wrong with disagreement, and there is nothing wrong even with a good debate. Soon as you start calling people out their names, and I give warnings. I'm like, now this is what we're not gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Now clean it up. And if they don't clean it up, they get blocked.
Some of them will stand by it. They'll be like, you can
stand outside then. Not in my house. You can stand outside. That's fine. Public property out there. But you're not coming in here doing that. Absolutely not. Carry that anti-Blackness. Carry that misogynoir. Carry that that homophobia, anti-Arab.
And some of y'all are homophobic. And here's the thing too. And I noticed this. Y'all don't have to be overtly homophobic to be homophobic. I follow is his name Jamal Taylor? Let me educate you. Is it yes, love him.
I love him.
Down.
I love him. Shout out to Jamal. We love you. Come on the show and cut up with us.
Oh yes, we need to have him on.
Come on the show and cut up with us.
I have been following his posts lately, and what I love is, despite all of like the vitriol, baby, that's been coming his way, he still creates space for open dialogue, right? But I will look at these people who are like allies, they got rainbow flags in their damn bios.
All of it.
Telling him how to vote. And one time in a comment, he said something about like, or it was maybe his post. I don't want to mix it up, but basically he was like, I'm a Black gay man in America. Like, I have there's a lot at stake for me. And there's people still like, basically, well, anyway, that's homophobia, y'all. It is very homophobic to tell a Black gay man or Black queer person, okay? It's racist and homophobic. But it's homophobic to tell a queer person, anyway, we ain't worried all that, you worried about your right shit, we ain't worried about that. That's homophobic. So you're not an ally.
Terrible.
He has been going through it. We've got to have him on the podcast.
I would love to. I would be absolutely honored.
Love him. Well, anyway, this ended up being
oh shoot. That's the whole episode.
Ended up being election season anyway, but I want to add this on a funny note because I saw this TikTok and it's all about the election season, but at this point we're here. So this person did a TikTok on who the Rugrats would have voted for, and I want to see if you agree. Okay.
What?
It's so funny. So funny. It is Mr. Williams on TikTok at Mr. Williams Spreck.
I need to watch this.
So funny. So he said, Tommy Pickles, he said, a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do, and a baby's got to vote for a woman in office. He's 100% voting Kamala Harris.
Oh, 100%. Tommy Pickles? Absolutely.
Okay. Dill is voting for Trump, though. He said Dill is a menace. Dill is Dill
is voting for Jill Stein.
You think?
Yeah, Dill is too. No, he's too like woke to be used this way.
He said Dill does not trust any news or media.
No, he doesn't.
Even Fox News. He gets all of his information from Reddit.
Oh.
So then there's Phil and Lil. He says Phil and Lil are trying to be like, they're trying to separate their identities and be like their own person. So he said Lil is voting for Kamala. And he said Phil is pissed off at the world, and so he's like, I'm not going to follow my sister. I'm voting for Trump. Do we agree? I don't think Phil's voting for Trump, though. I don't think he'll vote for Kamala, but I think he's third party. Because he's like,
he's definitely third party. He's definitely third party. Yeah.
Okay, we agree.
Okay, go ahead.
He said Chucky's a Kamala girl through and through.
Oh, Chucky Charles, absolutely. Yes. Chucky, look at how cute.
I love Chucky. Chucky
was my favorite. So after Susie, of course.
Love that. Who's next? He said Susie is not only voting for Kamala, but she works for Kamala HQ.
Yeah. She's running. Susie, yes.
And then Angelica, voted for Trump, unfortunately. He said, and then I commented, I said, Angelica would definitely be part of the 55% that was crying about their rights and voted for Trump.
Yeah, marching and crying about their lack of rights with those damn hats on. And still
voted for Trump. Mm-hmm. And still is right now torn about who to vote for.
Yeah. Has no idea who they're voting for.
Like she's not a progressive, right? Mm-mm. She's not like, she doesn't care about other people's rights. She's just concerned about her own. So she's very loud about like, I support Trump, but quietly she's trying to figure out like,
it's giving very Susan B. Anthony.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I just made so many people mad.
Susan B. Anthony can.
No, girl, they over there putting their I voted stickers on her grave.
Don't piss me off.
Mm-hmm. I'm like, do you know that she was like a virulent racist? Like,
don't piss me off.
Y'all are so goofy.
They might know, but they don't care because it's about looking progressive. Okay, it's not.
You're not wrong.
Y'all, don't piss me off. I thought I had gotten out. I love y'all. Enjoy your damn Monday. God, when is this airing? Is this airing before election? Hold on.
It is. It is airing before the election. So do the right thing.
This is the day before. Okay.
Do the right thing.
Do the right thing. Go vote. Okay. As you're walking into the voting booths, I want you to remember all of the marginalized communities that are depending on your vote.
Yeah.
If you don't vote, I don't want to hear a fucking thing.
Don't say shit to me.
For the next 4 years.
Not 4 years.
Damn thing.
Nope. Don't want to hear it.
And then after you vote, I challenge you to take some time offline. Like, honestly, go vote and go have lunch. Go have a coffee. There's no need to watch the polls. You've done your job. There's no need to watch and stress yourself out.
Nope.
And, well, I don't know if some of y'all will be stressed. Anyway, there's no need to watch and stress yourself out. Go vote and go be with your family. Go vote and go to dinner. Go vote and go to sleep.
Take a nap.
But go vote. And we love y'all, and we'll talk to you next week.
Have a safe election day. Y'all please be safe. Y'all please be aware. And please be safe. That's all I'm gonna say. Be aware, be safe, do the right thing, grab your meemaws to come do it too. And we'll be talking to you.
Or maybe don't grab your meemaws, depending.
Oh, maybe.
But we love y'all.
Count every vote. Bye.